The New York Yankees enter this offseason with a feeling that is very different from what surrounded the organization not so long ago. There is still pressure, there's still expectation, but there's also a sense of calm confidence that has not always been present when a major name hits the market. This time, the focus is on Cody Bellinger, a player who quickly became an important piece in the Bronx and whose future is now one of the biggest talking points around the league. What stands out most is that the Yankees do not appear rattled by outside competition, even with their crosstown rivals once again monitoring the situation closely. Bellinger represents the type of profile that almost every team dreams of adding. He brings left-handed power, defensive flexibility, and a resume that speaks for itself. He has proven he can be an impact bat in the middle of the order, capable of changing games with one swing, while also providing elite defense across multiple positions. Players with that combination rarely become available, and when they do, the market usually becomes intense very quickly. That reality is exactly why many assumed the Yankees would be on edge, especially considering recent history. Not long ago, the Yankees watched another superstar slip away after an offseason filled with headlines, speculation, and rising tension. That experience left a mark on the fan base and created the expectation that any similar situation would trigger the same anxiety. However, internally, the tone seems different now. There is a belief that Bellinger's situation is not a repeat of the past, and that the factors surrounding this negotiation favor the Yankees in ways that were not present before. One of the key reasons for this confidence lies in fit. Bellinger is not just a powerful bat, but a player whose versatility solves multiple needs at once. He can handle first base, play the outfield at a high level, and adjust depending on how the roster evolves throughout the season. For a team that values flexibility and depth, especially over a long championship run, that versatility carries enormous weight. It allows the Yankees to build around him rather than force him into a rigid role, which strengthens their case in negotiations. Another important element is the dynamic within the clubhouse. The Yankees understand how vital it is to surround their captain with players who can share the load offensively and defensively. Bellinger's presence last season helped balance the lineup and prevented opposing pitchers from focusing all their attention on one star. The impact went beyond numbers, showing up in how opposing teams approached games and how the lineup flowed from top to bottom. That kind of influence is not easily replaced. Historically, the Yankees have been cautious when it comes to committing massive contracts to position players. Much of their biggest spending in recent years has gone toward elite pitching, reinforcing the belief that championships are built from the mound outward. While that philosophy has brought stability, it has also created stretches where the offense lacked consistent firepower. The pursuit of Bellinger signals a subtle but meaningful shift, suggesting a front office more willing to invest heavily in a bat that fits their long-term vision. That shift did not happen overnight. There are moments in previous off-seasons when it seemed inevitable that the Yankees would land one of the top hitters available, only for those expectations to fade as decisions went in a different direction. In some cases, those choices worked out in unexpected ways, while in others, the lack of offensive depth became painfully obvious over a full season. Those lessons appear to be shaping how the organization approaches this moment. Bellinger's recent performance only strengthens the Yankees' resolve. He delivered consistent production over a demanding schedule, showed up in key moments, and handled the pressure of playing in New York without hesitation. Not every player adapts to that environment, and the ones who do often become cornerstones. From the organization's perspective, that adaptability reduces risk and increases the appeal of making a long-term commitment. As negotiations continue, there is an understanding that patience will be required. The offseason is rarely straightforward, especially when top-tier talent is involved and multiple teams are monitoring every development. Still, the Yankees seem prepared for that process, confident in their position and aware of what they can offer beyond financial terms. They believe the combination of opportunity, competitive window, and organizational stability gives them an edge as discussions move forward. While the negotiations unfold, the broader context of the Yankees' recent seasons cannot be ignored. The organization has spent years trying to strike the right balance between financial discipline and the constant demand to win now. Playing in New York means every decision is magnified, every move dissected, and every hesitation questioned. In that environment, the front office knows that standing still is rarely an option, especially when the roster has clear areas that can be strengthened with the right player. The memory of offensive inconsistency still lingers. There were stretches not long ago when the lineup struggled to generate momentum, forcing the pitching staff to be nearly perfect just to keep games within reach. Injuries, underperformance, and a lack of reliable left-handed production combined to create an uneven attack that fell short of championship standards. Those seasons served as a reminder that depth and balance matter just as much as star power, and that lesson is influencing how the Yankees view Bellinger's value. Bellinger offers more than home run potential. His approach at the plate brings a different look to the lineup, one that forces pitchers to adjust rather than settle into a rhythm. His ability to work counts, drive the ball to all fields, and capitalize on mistakes adds layers to an offense that can otherwise become predictable. When paired with the established core, his skill set helps create sustained pressure rather than isolated bursts of production. Defensively, his presence creates options that are difficult to replicate. The Yankees place a premium on run prevention, and having a player who can seamlessly move between positions allows the coaching staff to maximize matchups and manage workloads over a long season. That flexibility becomes even more valuable when injuries arise, as they inevitably do, or when the schedule demands constant adjustments. It is the kind of insurance that does not always show up in headlines, but often proves decisive in October. There is also the human element to consider. Players talk, and the clubhouse atmosphere matters. When teammates believe the organization is committed to winning, it reinforces trust and focus. Retaining a player who embraced the pressure of New York and delivered under scrutiny sends a message that performance is rewarded and continuity is valued. That message resonates not only with current players, but also with future targets who are watching how the Yankees handle their own. From a competitive standpoint, the American League landscape continues to evolve. Teams are investing aggressively, young cores are maturing, and the margin for error grows smaller each year. The Yankees understand that relying solely on tradition or reputation is no longer enough. Sustained success requires calculated risks and timely investments, especially when a proven contributor is already familiar with the demands of the organization. As the offseason progresses, speculation will continue to swirl, and outside noise will grow louder. That is unavoidable in a market like New York. Yet inside the organization, the approach remains measured. They are weighing long-term impact against short-term gains, evaluating how Bellinger fits not just for the upcoming season, but for the years that follow. The confidence they project suggests a belief that this pursuit aligns with their broader strategy rather than contradicting it. In the end, the Yankees are not simply chasing a name or reacting to pressure. They are attempting to shape a roster capable of sustaining excellence in an increasingly competitive environment. The decision surrounding Bellinger represents a crossroads between old habits and evolving priorities, between caution and ambition, and between learning from recent history and writing the next chapter of it, with the understanding that the direction they choose here will influence everything that follows as the offseason continues to unfold and the vision for the team remains very much in motion. As the offseason calendar keeps moving, the Yankees remain aware that every decision they make now will echo deep into the next season. Roster construction at this stage is not just about filling gaps, but about shaping an identity that can withstand the grind of a long campaign and the intensity of postseason baseball. The front office understands that the margin between falling short and reaching the ultimate goal is often defined by how well a team complements its core stars with players who can influence games in multiple ways. This is where the discussion around Cody Bellinger becomes even more significant. His recent seasons have shown a level of consistency that goes beyond raw power numbers. He has demonstrated an ability to adjust, to respond after challenging stretches, and to contribute even when the spotlight is at its brightest. For a franchise that expects its players to perform under constant scrutiny, those traits are almost as valuable as the statistics themselves. They suggest reliability, adaptability, and a mindset suited for high-pressure environments. The Yankees also recognize the importance of protecting their lineup for becoming one-dimensional. In recent years, opponents have found ways to exploit predictability, especially during crucial series when preparation is meticulous and weaknesses are magnified. A balanced offense forces opposing managers to think twice about matchups and bullpen usage. Bellinger's presence disrupts those plans, creating situations where pitchers cannot simply navigate around one threat to reach a softer spot in the order. Beyond the field, there is a strategic patience at play. The organization is familiar with the rhythm of the offseason and understands that early noise does not always reflect final outcomes. While speculation fills headlines, the Yankees are focused on maintaining flexibility and clarity. They know that rushing decisions can create long-term complications, while calculated patience can lead to more favorable terms and a stronger overall roster. There's also an awareness of how quickly narratives can change. A single signing can shift perception from uncertainty to momentum, altering how the entire offseason is viewed. For the Yankees, making the right move at the right time is not just about public confidence, but about internal alignment. Everyone from the front office to the coaching staff must believe in the direction being taken, and that unity often translates into performance once the season begins. As discussions continue behind closed doors, the Yankees are weighing every angle, from financial structure to competitive balance. They are evaluating how this move fits alongside existing commitments and future plans, always with an eye on sustainability. The goal is not to win headlines in December, but to build a roster capable of playing its best baseball when it matters most. The coming weeks will bring clarity, but for now, the approach remains steady and deliberate. The Yankees are positioning themselves to avoid the pitfalls of recent years, aiming to create a lineup that can support its stars, adapt to adversity, and maintain pressure on opponents throughout the season. In that context, the pursuit of Bellinger is less about reacting to the market and more about reinforcing a vision that prioritizes balance, resilience, and a renewed sense of purpose as the next chapter of this offseason continues to take shape. As the offseason clock continues to tick, the Yankees remain steady, grounded in their evaluation and confident in the direction they are heading. Whether the final outcome aligns perfectly with their initial plan or requires adjustment, the process itself reflects a franchise intent on evolving without losing its identity. The pursuit of Cody Bellinger, in that sense, is not just about one player, but about reinforcing a standard, a belief that sustained success comes from thoughtful decisions, internal trust, and the ability to stay composed when the spotlight burns brightest. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Whispers circulating through clubhouses and executive corridors suggest that the Yankees may be on the verge of pulling off one of the boldest moves in recent memory. According to growing speculation, Tucker, one of baseball's most feared and complete offensive forces, could soon be wearing the iconic pinstripes in what insiders describe as a record-setting agreement that would redefine the franchise's immediate future. The rumor gained traction after multiple signals pointed to an aggressive shift in the Yankees' front office strategy. Long known for valuing power, patience, and postseason pedigree, the organization appears determined to assemble an offense capable of overwhelming opponents from the first inning on. Tucker's profile fits that vision almost too perfectly. A disciplined hitter with elite power to all fields and a reputation for delivering in high-pressure moments, he represents the type of cornerstone bat New York has historically built dynasties around. Sources close to the situation claim the proposed deal would not only shatter previous financial benchmarks for an outfielder, but also reflect a deeper commitment to surrounding the roster with prime-age superstars. The speculation hints at a long-term pact designed to lock Tucker into the heart of the Yankees lineup, potentially pairing him with other elite sluggers to create a relentless offensive core. Beyond the numbers, there's a sense that this move would be as much symbolic as strategic. Bringing Tucker to the Bronx would send a clear message across the league. The Yankees are unwilling to accept anything short of dominance. Fans, already buzzing with anticipation, imagine a lineup where every at-bat feels like a threat, every swing capable of changing the game's momentum. For now, it remains a rumor, fueled by silence from official channels and confident murmurs from those who believe the deal is closer than anyone admits. Yet in a sport where perception often precedes reality, the idea of Kyle Tucker in a Yankees uniform is already reshaping expectations. If speculation turns into confirmation, this could mark the beginning of a new power era in the Bronx. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.